Sorry about that, I was eating a slice of bread. Hello everyone, to people just joining, to people who have been waiting, and to everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this. Hello, welcome back to another stream, and welcome back to Game Dev Sunday, which, if I check the channel, last time I did that was a good few weeks ago. Hold on. It's been 3 weeks. Okay, that's how long it's been since I last did Game Dev Sunday. Wow, okay. So, not exactly great. Especially, like, you know, wanting to get on with, things and all that jazz and whatnot. But gosh. Sorry, just grabbing some things, and then I will be, you know, more locked in. Sorry, chat, and people watching things back. But, you know, the last time that Game Dev Sunday, you know, was a stream, we were trying to focus on fixing some things with, running and sprint stuff. I will be doing bits of that today, again, you know, because, although there was some, when's the next Xenoblade 2 stream, Jom? It will be soon. It won't be in the coming week, but it will be the week after the coming week, because I want to get Mega Man X4 completely out of the way before, you know, I fully jump into doing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Because I know I started it last week on my birthday, and the reason why I did that is because I felt like I was in a good spot where, well, it really won't take too much to finish, or properly finish Mega Man X4, and by extension, the first of the Legacy collections. So, I did that last week, and then Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to try and lock in and finish X4 completely, so finishing Zero's playthrough, and then doing X's playthrough, even though it's literally just playing the same game again, but, you know, as X, and getting X's plot points. No, fuck it. I'm doing something different for background music. We're getting Wii Shop channel music instead of what I normally do. I don't know if this will be completely struck down by an orbital laser just by having this song playing for an hour, but we're getting the Wii channel music. The Wii Shop channel music, I mean. But yeah, that's what's happening with that. It won't be too long before we properly continue Xenoblade 2, so to so to you, Nick, and also to anyone else who's, like, wondering when that's gonna continue. Won't be too long, I promise. I just need to get X4 out of the way first, and then I can comfortably just settle into getting on with that alongside Dream Drop Distance level 1. God, I blanked. I was like, what did I do the other day? I did Dream Drop Distance level 1! But yes, yes, now that I have gotten that little thing out of the way, Nintendo systems have detected your copyright violation. Your Nintendo social credit has been decreased. Good lord, no. Please pay $34.99. Brother, is that the fucking price for... Make sure there are no summoners in your... There are no summoners in my games, but also I saw that. Mechanics patterns suck. Like, imagine if you were anyone else wanting to, you know, make something because you liked Pokemon and wanted to make something similar to it, but you can't anymore. It's It's asinine. It's stupid and asinine. I hate it. Like, I already kind of talked about, it's shallow and pedantic. It is. Like, I also forgot, my brain blanked on... I'm making an RPG. One of my bosses is a summoner, so fuck me, I gotta scrap... No. Like, that's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. Oh, wait, whoopsie daisy. There we go. That's what I meant to do. I meant to swap to the tab that I normally have Clip Studio on. Right. So, I kind of already went over things with the Direct the other day. Like, during my Dream Drop Distance stream the other day, TLDR, there were some things I liked, some things that I kind of, like, and some things that are really not worth. Or some decisions that were made that were very odd. Like, I already went on a whole rant about what the hell they're doing with the, Oh yeah, Dragon Quest VII. Dragon Quest VII, like, here's the thing. I still need to properly, fully play through a Dragon Quest game. I have Dragon Quest 3 HD, like the 2D HD remake, in my Steam library. I haven't played it yet. And while I do have the original version of Dragon Quest XI, I do know that 11S is, you know, the definitive and also better version of that game, because there are things that they fixed and all that jazz. So, you know, I'm trying to sort of, fish for that, but, you know, I'd say they're fairly cheap, but I think CD Key, well, to be fair, CD Keys is rebranded as Loaded, but I'm still going to call it CD Keys. But CD Keys might have me covered on that, so who knows. But do need to properly... Dragon Quest VII is my first Dragon Quest game. Very good job, classes game. If only you get job before 10 hours-ish in. But I do need to properly play through a full Dragon Quest game, rather than just try and do it and then just sort of, like, not. That was me 5 years ago, trying to play, like, base version of Dragon Quest XI, because that was when I got the base version of 11 on PC, before, PC got 11S. Just emulate a Dragon Quest game. I know I could, but... Like, I have one at my disposal, and that's, you know, the HD 2D, the HD 2D remake of 3. So, I could just play that. But, also, before Persona 4 is that, like, here's the thing. 5 years ago, I almost fully completed Persona 4. I, like, right down to getting to near the true ending. And I stopped. I don't know what made me stop. I stopped. And since 5 years ago... God. Since 5 years ago, I still haven't beaten it. I need to correct that mistake. I need to eventually just either go back to that original save file and beat it, or completely just do a whole new playthrough. And do it that way. You just... Oh! Oh, you just save Yukiko. Oh, you're really a... Oh! But yeah, no, I already, like, in terms of the Direct, or in terms of stuff announced and talked about during the Direct, so during the segment of the Direct where they were talking about all the Pokemon stuff and whatnot, and they revealed some new things for Legends ZA, like, the thing I already went into about during that was the whole, like, oh, you can only get the Mega Stones for Delphox, Greninja, and Chestnut by playing Ranked, and you can only get them within a specific season. He, Mr. Gay is like, oh yeah, the He, Mr. Gay movie, and also the ports of 1 and 2, even though 1 was already part of the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, and somehow they're priced way more than any other port of those 2 games in the past, like, on the Wii U and whatnot, which is kind of crazy. It is kind of insane. Also, from what I've seen, what I've heard, like, about the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, wait, I know it's $70, yeah, no, like, but is it also £70? I don't think it's necessarily £70. I can check on my Switch, like, right now, because I was still loaded into the eShop yesterday. So, the bundle itself is $58.99, which I guess, in a way, isn't too bad, but on their own, Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2 on their own, individually, is $33.99, which is more than what either game would have been sold for as a port on the Wii U. I'm pretty sure, from what I hear. For 2 games, you can emulate it for free or buy it. Yeah, basically, yeah. At the very least, Metroid Prime 4 looks cool. Like, and then, as I was saying, like, from what I've seen and heard, like, I love Donkey Kong Bonanza. I loved base game Donkey Kong Bonanza, but from what I've seen and heard, I don't think it is worth paying the money for the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC if all it adds is DK Isle and, like, the little, like, Emerald Rush activity for each layer. If it was more substantial, then yeah, definitely fucking charge for it. But if it's only stuff that really could have just been added in a free update, then it is not worth it. So I'm not gonna buy the Bonanza DLC. I can just enjoy the base game. And I don't think it actually adds too much. From what I've seen, it doesn't add too much. But again, I don't know. I've only seen and heard things, and I haven't... Also... This was another thing. This was another thing that I also ranted about during stream the other day. And I'm gonna rant about it as well. Like, I don't know if it's greed or if it's confidence. I mean, with Game Freak, you can never fucking tell at times. But announcing a DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA before it is properly released is kind of ridiculous. It's absurd. It is asinine. And bearing in mind, like, this DLC also costs $24.99. Like, I'm sure that with this might be, at the very least, kind of substantial compared to, say, the likes of the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, but it's still ridiculous. Like, what happened to, like, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company just waiting for, like, a new entry to be out for a few months and then saying, oh yeah, by the way, we're making DLC for this. And also, with Legends Arceus, everything they added post-launch was a free update. Everything they did post-launch was a free update. So, for Legends ZA, because I am getting Legends ZA, but I am going to hold off on getting the DLC for Legends ZA until, you know, like, one, I've had to play with the base game myself to see how it feels, how it plays, and how, like, if it's good at all. And two, I'm going to hold off on getting the DLC until I've seen other people give their impressions and say, well, is this DLC any good? Because, yeah, no. There's also the fact of the matter that Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake is just, you know, a combined game, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's coming out on PC anyway, but, you know, cool if you get it on your Switch too, if you ever wanted it to just, you know, play it portably and whatnot. as I've already explained the other day, even though I've had Hades 2 since it was in early access last year, I am still gonna get Hades 2 on my Switch 2. Just because I did the same thing when the Hades got its when the original Hades got its full release back in 2020, because I already had it on like Steam Early Access months beforehand. I had the original Hades in Steam Early Access months beforehand, since like end of 2019, and then gosh. But I fucking love Hades. I love Hades 1. I've loved what they've been doing for Hades 2, like, via the Steam Early Access. And I just can't wait to see them actually add, like, the proper ending for everything. Because that's essentially what is missing, what Supergiant is missing from Hades 2 at this point. It is the true ending. It is the definitive, like, this is how the story ends type thing. Because at the moment, you have the ability to complete runs, but you don't have the ability to, like, properly progress and complete or fully complete the story. So but the cool thing is that Hades 2 is still, you know, on original Switch. That's a thing I forgot to clarify. Hades 2 is still on original Switch. It's just that Hades 2 has, like, a free upgrade for Switch 2. So if you got the Switch 1 version and eventually got a Switch 2, you could just get that, like, upgrade for the Switch 2 version for it for free. Which, you know, I do appreciate, like, how there are some developers who, oh yeah, we're making a Switch 2 version of our game, but don't worry, you can just get that Switch 2 upgrade for free, you know? Like, the same thing happened with Silksong. Silksong released simultaneously Switch 1 and Switch 2, and if you got it on Switch 1, and you eventually got a Switch 2, you could just get the upgrade pack for the Switch 2 version for free for Silksong. And here is a fun fact that I learned in all of this. So, if people were watching the Nintendo Direct the other day, then you would also know that Stardew Valley is getting a Switch 2 version. And if you own it on Switch 1 and you get a Switch 2, then you can get, you know, the upgrade pack for the Switch 2 version for free. However, apparently, this is a thing I found out because of the game's developer, Concerned Ape. Apparently, if, like everywhere else, like, having a thing like an upgrade pack be free, you know, that's fair game. However, apparently, according to them, for Japan, he can't have it be completely free to upgrade Stardew Valley to the Switch 2 version from the Switch 1 version. He has to set it to the minimum price over there because, you know, it's a legal requirement, apparently. So, you know, that was an, you know, interesting fact to learn. Anyway, I've gone on a whole, like, tangent about the Nintendo Direct and other stuff for, like, so long. Like, holy shit. After fighting my editing software, I found out I just need to downgrade my software. That happens. That happens. If it's a bit too powerful for things, then you just gotta work your way down and find out which one actually just doesn't want to make your thing die. You know, I know that. I know that. But yes, so, for the project. Because at the moment, you know, while I have, like, some direction with what I'm attempting to do, and that's, you know, like, either create or fix animations, as of late, it feels like I've kind of lost the plot a little bit in terms of, like, what my priorities need to be, if that makes sense. Even though I have, like, a set plan for things, I'm just kind of, a bit... My GPU memory is 5.8 gigabytes, and the newest 7.8. Jesus. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find one of the files that I made previously where I was just writing down like my plans and stuff. Alright, this was my prerequisites and stuff, for like making the original prototype. Although to be fair, I kind of ignored a whole bunch of it and made like the whole like prototype anyway, just to try and, you know, get feedback and whatnot. I did that, and then I got the feedback and sort of like started acting upon it. I really need to reopen that Google form because I have Yep, there we go. Responses. So like, although there were some things to do with like player physics and whatnot, a lot of it was to do with the animations, and that was the reason why I started setting out to work on the animations in the first place. Because of, well, if things aren't clear enough, you know, lack of animations, then how the hell is this going to take shape and be, you know, telegraphed to the player and also enjoyable? So let's talk about, you know, the animations and whatnot, because that is where we've been for quite some time. Even though the reason why it's been quite some time is because every now and then, because of like work and other stuff happening in my life, I have essentially just taken a few breaks with Game Dev Sunday, which is, you know, not always the best thing. Not always the best thing to do, because I've been working on this for over a year at this point. And even before, when I was doing like Game Dev Sunday consistently from like after my birthday last year, I was like streaming, you know, working on the project every now and then, like a few times a week sometimes up until that point. But yeah, no, we've been here with working on the animation for quite some time, and a lot of it might take a Silk Song to get done. It might do. I don't even, like, here's the thing. I will enjoy working on this and getting things ready and whatnot. Maybe I might suffer the same problem as Team Cherry, but maybe I might suffer the same problem as Team Cherry. Who knows? Who knows? But in terms of the animations, like, we have the rat walk, so just the player's basic walk. We have the run, which originally was a lot more... A Silk Song is 6.5 years at fucking... Damn, I'm already over a year into that. It may take a Silk Song and a half, actually. Then we have the run animation, which originally used to be a lot more stilted until we fixed, like, a thing where originally, as the, like, player was going down, like, their arms were not moving at all. The arms were just staying still until they properly stepped down and then it would move. But I adjusted the animation so, you know, the arms were, you know, moving when they were supposed to. So this looks a whole lot better, thankfully. This looks a lot more organic, rather than just, you know... So when is the player going to bust it down? You know what? I might do that as like a little celebration for when the player beats bosses. The player character just busts it down. They get all quirked up. But yeah, no. We have the falling loop, which is kind of a bit jittery at times, but I feel like I did a good job with that. We have an idle animation, which I do like the idle animation. You know, it's fairly standard, fairly basic. And also, there is like a little extra thing that plays after like the idle animation has played for like a little bit. I have that being, you know, monitored like with some code blueprint bits, which is cool. Then we have the jump, which I only made it like a one frame thing because, as far as I'm aware, a lot of stuff within the PlayStation era, depending on the game, It wasn't, you know, the same case with everything in the PlayStation 1 and N64 era, but a good chunk of it was like kind of, you know, limited animation or not animated at all, or just, you know, just a single frame and then transition into another animation. But so we have the jump, of course we have the full loop, we have the stomp, which is essentially just, you know, a singular frame again. Singular frame again. And then for landing, there is no, you know, like, normal landing, because I was looking, when are we getting the PS3 inspired indie games? Make that shit covered in brown, or covered in the yellow piss filter, like in, like in Call of Duty and... Or hell, PS2 inspired indie games where you have something like original MGS freeze filter. Yeah, no. When I was looking at Spyro and some other cases, there was no like actual landing animation, but for stomp, when the player is stomping, there is a landing animation where they kind of, oh, whoops. I don't know why it was all zoomed all the... I think because of how I shrunk the window. And that's how they sort of, like, get up when they're landing. Oh, on one day, we will get the... Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Eventually, indie games, like, as like, AAA and whatnot continues to, you know, grow, but also becomes, you know, carnivorous and devours everything in sight, indie games will eventually adopt that mentality as well by looping back into PS4 and Xbox One era and shit. Which, you know, that won't be good, because then there'll be, like, another thing that sort of takes after what indie games used to embody. Imagine that. Imagine we have AAA, we have indie, and then we have something of, like, a subset of indie, or something inspired by what indie was trying to do in the first place. And then the cycle just keeps going. You know? That sounds like a bloody nightmare now that I think about it. I'm struggling to... Will mid-range be the way of the future? I wish it was. I don't want... Because here's the thing, like, sure, oh, this is so impressive, this graphical fidelity is absolutely incredible, we have never seen anything like this, but then, as time goes on, it's like, wow, being a gamer kind of sucks because it becomes way more expensive. So... I wish some devs would just dial it back a bit. You know, actually learn to make something that's stylish and not just, you know, hyper-realistic once again. But, you know, it's sad, really. But anyway, so going through the animations, this is what we have so far. And in terms of the Blender, I was still trying to fix the sprint animation the last time, and I... Now, as I was saying with this animation, like, I've improved it over what it used to look like. Like, that version of the animation still exists in the engine because I haven't exported this, like, what changes I'm making for this animation to it yet, but Gosh. So I should probably move my drawing tablet out of the way because I'm not using Clip Studio at the moment, but I'll keep it. Oh, that's an important thing that's fallen off my desk. Oh, there it is. Ooh. I should probably move that elsewhere rather than where I just popped my drawing tablet. But yes. So as I was about to say before that sudden noise interrupted me. So looking at how things are moving at the moment. I think, in my opinion, like, while things are getting better, I think if I had to sort of pinpoint another problem, it's how there's not nearly enough bounce in the animation. Because if we go back to the engine for a moment, and we look at the run animation, like for its speed, there is there is a nice level of bounce to it. There's a bit of a rhythm to it. It sort of goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down as the player is moving. So, that's the kind of thing you'd want to see from a running animation. However, with a sprinting animation, it's a bit difficult because you're trying to make it look like it's running at a given speed, but at the same time, it's trying to find how that character model should be moving and bouncing up and down in order to ensure that, oh hey, this doesn't look kind of ridiculous and stilted. Oh, gosh. Anyway, so in terms of the bounce, so that animation, or that frame there, frame 16, I'm pretty sure frame 8, yeah. So I'm looking at how, so if I look at frame 8, oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to drag the, Interesting. So there's one or two approaches. Right, no. Actually, hold on. Let me jot down my thoughts on this because otherwise I'm going to lose my mind trying to explain things. So what I'm hoping to try and do with adjusting the position of the root or the hip is to sort of fix how it looks as it's sort of bounding up and down. However, it's either I adjust the frame after the first one, so it's oh yeah, it goes up, and then on the very next in like frame, it just starts moving down, which may kind of look weird. Or like that's supposed to be a bit further down. Sorry about that. Or I adjust the very first frame. So it's like, oh, this very first frame that we're starting on, it's up already. And then we move down one. And then we move down again. Again, that depends. Like, I might try both approaches at the start of the animation. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Because you never know. It may actually work out in my favor. You know? So let's give this a shot. So the thing is, here's the thing. Here is the thing. I want to get through, like, getting these animations done. Because that was one of my main, like, needs to try and get things sorted out with the animations is for. It's so I can move on to getting, like, air dash and wall slides and such done. So there's, you know, more things that can clearly give information to people playing the game. I also feel like I just kind of went off the rails a little bit again. Sorry about this. But you know what I mean. I'm trying to... It's making adjustments. It's making adjustments. So, at the moment... Well, how I have it so... I'm trying to think. I'm trying to... Hold on. Give me a moment, chat, because I need to visualize this. Like, actually, you know... out, like, physically using my body. So if it's, like... Okay, so I might have figured it out. In terms of why things look wrong. So I feel like I definitely should move this up. Oh, Jesus. I was jogging on the spot for like a little bit. Especially when you've been like busy at work and whatnot. Do not do that because you will tire yourself out. And you'll overexert yourself. Oh gosh, sorry. So, I definitely want to move this up. I'll move this up slightly, and then on the next frame... Right, it's the pelvis. Right, so move on the Z. Hold on, so... And then insert keyframe, location, rotation, and scale. So, oh wait, I forgot. Pose, copy, paste. And then insert keyframe, location, rotation, and scale. So if we look at... And then I need to move this up slightly more, so... but then I need to adjust things on the Z for the foot. Oh, but now I need to adjust everything else. And not just that, but also I need to adjust the back foot too, so... I might have something here. Hold on, let's try doing the poses flipped. And let's see where this goes. So, frame 0, copy pose. And then I need to, of course, paste this on frame 16. So, paste pose. Location, rotation, and scale. So that's sorted for the very last frame. So, you know, that moves where it needs to be. And then frame 8. Paste pose flipped. Wait, hold on, what was it? Oh, that... Okay, so whoops. I may have fucked up. I may have royally fucked up. I may have royally horrendously fucked up. But you know, that's life, that's progress. But yes, copy pose. Yeah, right, there we go. Paste pose flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. Then we want copy pose. Then we paste pose flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. And then we have 2. So copy pose. And that comes to frame 10. Paste pose flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. Right, now let's see how this looks now. Okay, I think... Right, so it's getting better. I think there is an issue. That the new issue now, gosh. Right, my brain. To be fair, I should have made myself a cup of tea before I started stream to keep my brain a bit more in order. But, you know what? I'm gonna level with you, chat. I was busy playing Destiny Rising, the Destiny mobile game, because I've actually been enjoying that a fair bit. I was doing that before stream. I was like trying to do like end game stuff and trying to, you know, level up account level and all that jazz. So I didn't get the chance to make myself a cup of tea. So I'm gonna do that, or try to do that during the ad break. Because at the very least then, if I make that, then hopefully I should be able to, you know, think rationally like a sane person. Or my best impression of thinking rationally like a sane person. Because, well... But yes, the thing that I've noticed now... It's like, oh yeah, this is where it's starting to land, but it's like it floats there and then sticks its foot out. Which is not what I want at all. So, my next order of business for this animation is going, like, here, and, like, instead of having that happen there, have that foot outstretched, like, either there, or just remove it entirely. I don't know how Evening! Things are going okay. I hope you're okay. I know you like, said you were, like, busy doing cleaning and stuff. I hope you're okay. I can understand if you're exhausted. All sorted now, that's good. Beep, 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 beep. Do, 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 do. Okay, so thing that I'm trying to sort out now. So if it goes up there with the changes there, like it looks better like going up and then coming down, but it's actually nice to have a clean room. I kind of know that feeling. I need to, like, it's clean for what it is, but there's only so much you can do inside a box. There's only so much you can do either inside a box or in a room where you've got drawers that can only store so many things in, or you have your cosplay prop swords in the corner. And you have a bunch of stuff, like, on your bed and on your shelves and stuff. And you never got a larger bookcase. It's deeply concerning. So goes up, goes up. I feel like... So where that animation happens there... Or that part of the animation happens there... I feel like there's bits of it that I can cut out. Because I feel like this bit here is entirely unnecessary. In my opinion, this frame is entirely unnecessary. Now that I think about it, this might be a crazy idea to try. But I want to see how this goes if I remove that frame in its entirety. And also the frame preceding it, and then adjust, like, this frame here, and adjust things a little bit. Because then I could possibly make the animation faster. But then that might not be the best thing, and of course I can adjust the playback speed in the engine. But... But yeah, no. It's a crazy idea. It's a crazy idea. But I want to give it a go. So... Right, I'm going to save this for now. And then I'm going to take this frame, and I'm going to delete this keyframe. And then this keyframe too. And I'm going to move these ones all the way back. Oh, right. I actually do not move those ones all the way back yet. But of course, without, like, a thing in between, then, you know, that doesn't work. So I could ideally create a keyframe here instead. So location, rotation, and scale. Or whatever one that was made there, I can take this and then move this one forward. But now I wonder, is it possible to stretch a keyframe over multiple frames? Stretch... Oh, hold on. Stretch keyframe. Blender. No, that's not what I meant. Sorry, chat, I'm just looking. Oh, wait, to be fair, I could just... duplicate a keyframe. That is always possible. So I'll take this, copy, wait, I need to make sure I have it, like, copy, and then paste. And then I take this, copy, paste flipped, and then, oh, for crying out loud, paste flipped. Or is it? I have no idea. Right, so... Oh, whoops. But there's still an issue with how that foot just stretches out like that on the next frame, and that really bugs me. But if I look at how it looks now in motion, that's kind of better. But then there's also a complete lack of... no. Like, I've solved one problem with how the foot was landing. But now I've created another problem where I've created a state where it just, like, looks stilted. So, of course, I need to definitely adjust, like, where it hangs, like, where it enters, like, the actual, like, foot properly landing, I need to make a micro adjustment in the frame directly after. So I can actually have it look like it's not, you know, like... Things to ponder during the ad break. Which, speaking of, is starting in about 10 seconds. So, or 7, 6. It's just about starting. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Hang on tight. We'll be back soon. Okay, cool. I just about managed to get back with my cup of tea just as the ad break ended. Now, I actually managed to have a little bit of a think about potential solutions to this problem that I am now facing after thinking that I've fixed one problem, but, you know, having invented another one. But, yes. I think I have a bit of a mild solution. My mild solution is that it wouldn't be too big of a movement. It won't be, you know, like a big, like, but, you know, it's a slight, subtle adjustment. Like, you know, that's what you would expect for, like about to move out of, like, a specific pose within, like, a constantly moving animation. Though, the thing is, it's funny me saying, like, all this stuff and making it sound like I know a lot about what I'm doing, when in actuality, I don't know diddly squat about what I'm doing. Or I say I don't know diddly squat, I don't know too much about what I'm doing, because animation is still a thing that I am trying to grasp. If that makes sense. But yes, so I'm going to move this along the Y slightly. Move this along the Z ever so slightly. And I'm gonna location, rotation, and scale. And then I'm gonna take this, copy this pose. Oh, not what I meant to do. And then I'm gonna paste it flipped. And I'm gonna insert location, rotation, and scale. And now we're gonna see how this looks. I don't like how this bends inwards. Why does it bend inwards like that? So this is another thing I need to fix. But at the very least, in motion, now the Wii Shop channel music has ended. Let me think. We'll go for Pokemon music from Gen 4/5. Oh, we'll do this. Yes, like this bit bugs me so much. It's like it's so jittery. Or actually, I might have made it jittery by having it move forward and then suddenly snap back. So, whoops. So instead of moving it forward and up, I just want to move it up. All I want to do is move it up. That's kind of that was a mistake on my part, a slight mistake, a slight error on my part. So location, rotation, and scale. Maybe that's a bit too little. Yeah. Slightly more, that works better. And then copy the pose. paste it flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. There we go. Nice cup of tea. Much better. Right. I'm just trying to think, how does this happen? Is it because of how, like, this moves outwards? It might be. So if I take this, and I move it further... Oh wait, no, that's not it. That's for that back leg. It's how this rotates. Or how this... Or how it rotates in response to the pelvis being moved up. And I didn't adjust it. So if I was to rotate on the air... Oh, whoops. No. That's not the solution. The solution is to try and get this leg to not be so stupid. Because it just immediately... It's like... I don't know what condition it is. Not, Oh, wait, no, there's no... Oh, wait, there's no specific term for it. It's just being double jointed. It's like the rat is double jointed. That's the thing I was thinking of. And, like... As interesting as that would be, character-wise, maybe mechanic-wise as well, that's not my intent here. Double-jointedness is not my intent here with how he's moving. So, how do I solve this? I am not tabbed in. Like this, maybe. I just hate how that looks. Like, from this angle, I hate how that looks. So, if I could just... Like, I had the right idea. I had the right idea. I just need to make sure that it's just not looking horrible. Oh my god. Location, rotation, and scale. Copy pose. And then... Whoops. Copy pose flip, or paste pose flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. Oh yeah, no, I forget. And now there's another problem. Like, the very first frame of the animation again, and then frame 8 as well. That's how I made this animation. The bloody... caused so many problems. But you know what? This is just... diagnosing the bloody... Gosh. There we go. Slowly getting the cup of tea, slowly getting the caffeine, slowly getting the focus. Even though I know it doesn't, you know, happen instantly. It takes time. Also, so thing that happened yesterday, I got a Twitch payout, because of, like, all the subs and gift subs and stuff, recently. So thank you, people who did subs and gift subs and whatnot, and also Prime subs too, because, you know, that's factored in as well. I used part of that, and also Steam voucher that I got the other day to finally get the Master Collection for the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games, which also includes like original Metal Gear, but I'm more so focused on Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. Since I now have all 3 of those, I'm in a position to play all 3 of those on stream, possibly, later down the line, which will be cool. Because I've been wanting to play, like, you know, Metal Gear Solid proper for a good chunk of time now, but my only exposure to it, aside from, like, Colonel and all the bloody Snake memes and Raiden memes and whatnot, has been through Metal Gear Rising, and that's not a Metal Gear Solid game. That's in the Metal Gear series, but it's not, you know, the gameplay that the series is known for and whatnot. If I do this, insert location, rotation, and scale. But yeah, no, I'll be able to do those eventually. Either when I get things out of the way, or as a thing for Heater's birthday, because I know, like, this year I did DK64. The year before I did Super Mario Sunshine, and I know he also wants me to play Metal Gear Solid, either, like, the original 3 all the way through, or just at the very least 1. I know he's not here at the moment, but I had the strongest feeling that he could sense me saying this through the ether, but, But yeah, no, that's going to happen eventually. I need to play Octopath. I keep forgetting. I need to play Octopath Traveler 2. I promised Dragon as well. I promised Dragon that I would play it. And I know that, like, she's gotten at me saying, oh, you should play it. It's a great game. And it's like, I know! But I've been busy with other stuff on stream, like the level 1 playthroughs. Among other things, too. So, yeah, no, I haven't. And also, the whole, like, me just balancing, like, only 2 playthroughs at a time, because in my head, I can only handle, like, 2 ongoing playthroughs at a time. If I tried to balance a third, I feel like I would lose my mind. So, that's my reasoning for that. There we go. Now, I'm hoping... Oh, this is a Gen 4 song. I don't know what this is. Actually, this might work better for this pose. So take this, copy, pose. Paste pose flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. Then... Oh, wait. Paste pose. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to move that right, so... Okay, right. We're slowly getting there. I feel like actually going through this gradually, it's definitely getting there. I'm pretty happy with how this is going so far, because it feels like I'm actually sort of like slowly picking out the problems with this animation, and then, you know, doing what I can to essentially fix it, because that's basically what's happening right now. But another thing that I have noticed now... Oh, whoops. And that's with the back leg in some of the parts of the animation, because if we go like, oh yeah, by back leg, I mean, like, the leg that's, you know, behind, like, the player. Because if we go, like, there, like... So, say, to frame 3, then to frame 4, and then to frame 5, and then 6, and 7, and 8... Like, that, nothing changes. Absolutely nothing changes. And that's kind of ridiculous. And that's kind of making things look a bit stilted as well. So... slowly making adjustments to that, and then... you know, we'll see how that looks after that. I'm hoping that this is the thing that, you know, completely changes it. This should be the thing that completely changes it. If it's not, then, I mean, I don't have a hat to eat. Or at the very least, I don't have a hat to eat on me right now, but I'll say... you know, figuratively, I'll eat my hat, but, Right. So looking at again, so that. I'm gonna have to physically visualize it for myself again. Hold on. So if I'm like, okay, I think I have it. Chat and people watching things back, I think I might have it. I say that so confidently, and then I might lose it. You never know. You never know. You never know. Also, oh gosh. So on frame 5, where is... Ah, yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm looking for, unless I'm wrong. No, that's the hand. That's the hand. This is the one. This is the one I'm looking for, actually. Location, rotation, and scale. Oh, whoops. Ah! No, 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 nope, nope, nope. Then paste, post, flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. I've realized the problem. Because it also remains consistent among some of the other frames, too. Take... Copy pose. Paste pose. Location, rotation, and scale. Because then at the very least, once I get this bit looking fine, then I can make the adjustments, you know. IKL. Paste pose. And then I still need to paste pose flipped. Rotation and scale. And then I need to do the same thing again. Paste pose flipped. And then... whoops. And again, paste pose flipped. Then... as soon as I can get it, like, the thing is, that's the main problem. It's things looking stilted. If I can stop it from looking stilted, then that's the problem solved. That is the problem solved. And I feel like we're getting there slowly. It's just picking out what exactly needs to be done next. Give me a few moments, chat, to think. The mind boggles and ponders. It contemplates and thinks. Right. So that happens there. So I don't think it needs to be such a sharp change there. So I can move this out just that little bit along the Y. Location, rotation, and scale. So it's like, goes there. And hey, this one, actually, I should move this a bit further up for, like, frame 9. So, along the Y, along the Z, and a bit more along the Y. Location, rotation, and scale. Frame 9. Whoops. And then that's frame 1. So take this, copy, pose, paste it flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh gosh, right. I am noticing that this is also like a sudden snap too, so... So... Let's see, I could always just... It feels like I didn't intend for there to be like a keyframe on absolutely every single frame of the animation, but I feel like it's the result of needing to make micro adjustments on every single frame in order to make sure it's not stilted. That it doesn't look jittery. Gosh. Right, okay. Right. And then location, rotation, and scale. And then copy, pose. And then paste, pose, flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. Now, how does this look now? There's, of course, still the other little bits that need fixing. Because, of course, I know I, like, just duplicated, like, where the leg was hanging just to make it, you know, not the one where it was stretched far out, but I do need to make the micro adjustments there, too. But as far as I'm concerned, it's shaping up. It's getting better. I'm happy. Right, so to look at it from this side... Oh wait, actually from this side first, because it moves over to... Okay, right, wrong frame of the animation first. That one goes as far as there. So if I want this to make sense... Okay, now that doesn't look right. I swear every single time it's like, I think I've made a solution, but no, I have created another problem, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's fine. I'm... there. So... Sorry. Ow. Also, my eye itches horribly. Ugh. Gosh. So, got that one there. There's always the possibility that I can adjust this one and then make the previous frame similar to what I had before. But that's annoying! Ah! Oh, wait, no, I did not mean to move the entire character model. Ugh. And this one goes here, paste post flipped. Location, rotation, and scale. Then on frame 9. On frame 8, actually, I can start moving this forward. So why... Oh, no, I did it again. I did it again. Seriously. Ugh. And then copy over to the very first frame. So paste post flipped. And then I'm just going to do copy pose. And then put that there. And then on 7, copy pose, and then on frame 15, paste it flipped, I think. Okay, that's still the same there. Right. I also... a lot of adjustments are being made. Well, I'll say that. A lot of adjustments are being made. Right. So in terms of got some tea. I did as well. So now I'm looking at. Yeah, it still looks like it jumps down and then stays there. I feel like for frame 3 to frame 4, like, this needs to be moved up slightly. Though I feel like I can take a lesson by looking at the run animation that's currently in the engine. So if we go back to the engine, we go to the normal run animation. Brain. Sorry, brain is braining. Also, the YouTube is killing most long-form content and favoring the phone. But I like my. But I like periodically watching, like, essay-type stuff. Skill issue, eat your slop. Never. I never will. Never. Right, so if I was to move this up slightly, oh wait, that's on the X. And then I was to do location rotation. So how would this look? So it's will the main character get a gun? I don't know. I haven't had plans for that. But, maybe. Who knows? Oh, wait, whoops. Paste pose flipped. This is looking way better. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Right. Now, let's make sure I go to the right layout. Make sure I have both selected. Export as an FBX. Selected objects. Fake animation. And then this is rat sprint. And now if we go into the engine, we go here. So it won't have updated it automatically, of course. This is what the original version of the animation looked like. The original version of the animation in motion, you know, before dissecting it, looked like this. Which, if we were to view it from, like... It was not good. It was not good. It was like the player was sliding around, rather than actually moving their legs. It was bad. It was actually very bad. So, now that we've done all of this, all of these changes, we're going to re-import this animation. So, re-import, of course. I probably still need to sort something out with the arms, but if we were to look at it in motion, like in-game, so... Right. So, my issues with the lower half of the body are now fixed. My issues now lie with the upper half of the body, and how it swings its arms. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for him to tap his feet, because he can do that after a little while in the idle animation. You know, it's personality. It's little bits of personality. Like, of course, other things I will need a wall slide animation. At the moment, we do not have one. We have the falling animation. We do not have a climbing animation. At the moment, I just play the... No, actually, I don't. I don't play the jumping animation. It just plays the falling loop, so... So, I do want to sort that out, either with a proper wall jump animation, or just play the jumping animation again. If we're being like, oh, we're, you know, emulating limited hardware and whatnot. The most important thing is the air dash. The air dash needs its own animation. Because one of the bits of feedback that I got from the initial, like, little playtest thing that I made was, well, people couldn't tell when the player was in the air dash. Like, there was no animation that indicated, oh yeah, the player is in the air dash now. So, that's another thing that I want to sort out. A proper air dash animation where it actually looks like the player is being propelled forward. That's another thing that I want to sort out. So, I definitely have my work cut out for me, but once I can actually get it all done, then I can actually move on to making another, you know, prototype and getting more feedback and all that other stuff. Which is, you know, that's always a good thing. Oh gosh, sorry about that. Ow, my knee. Ah, why did I do that? To be fair, I was just bouncing my knee up and down, and then I just accidentally went a bit too high and just bumped it on the underside of my desk. Sorry. But yeah, no, I'm very happy with how the bottom side of the animation looks now. It's the upper half that I need to fix. And now I realize that I wish that I'd thought about that as I was fixing, you know, how the legs and the rest of the body was looking. Oh boy. Well, work is never done, I suppose. The work is never done, I suppose. But that's not a bad thing. It's not like me saying, oh god, this is absolutely fucking terrible, and I don't want this at all. But... Gosh. So if I look at... Because I know I'm definitely not going to be able to get this done today, because, you know, Sunday streams are kind of shorter form, just for the sake of... Well, I'm at the very least getting bits done, but at the same time, I'm not pushing myself too much. A cool thing on the Linux is a free dynamic background app, so the quest is how to make the Xenoblade 1 title screen. I know that Wallpaper Engine, like people on Wallpaper Engine would have probably done that already, but I didn't realize Linux has like a dynamic wallpaper, so it's interesting to see how you do it on there. That'd be pretty cool actually, now that I think about it. So if I look at how the arms move... Also, like, there's like a moment during some parts of the animation where it's like, oh yeah, it just tilts in again, and then, like, for 2 frames. Yes, Linux, if you fucking love tech, have a day to not sleep. So it's how it moves, but also how it just kind of jitters back inwards again and then moves out, which kind of... Like, how the hell did that even happen? Was that because of the fixes I was making, or was that because of something else? I have no bloody idea. It feels weird. Such an odd thing to happen. Ow. Oh god, no, I just remembered now because of the bloody... the direct, and the fact that Nick brought up the virtual boy. And the fact that they're trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, the Virtual Boy Classic Collection, you know, this is classic. No, it's not! The Virtual Boy was your biggest mistake, Nintendo! Or one of your biggest mistakes, Nintendo! Gosh. But looking at how the arm... like... how the arm swings really bug me. It's just... Why are the arms like this? Why are you like this? I sound like I'm cursing this thing's entire existence. It kind of is. It kind of is cursing this thing's entire existence. But, you know what I mean? It's just... bleh. It's just blah 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 blah. But it's just... wow, wow, wow. I think one thing I'll do after stream, one thing I haven't played on my Switch for a while, or my Switch 2 for a while, since even getting it, last time I played it was back on my OLED, was Tetris 99. I'm definitely gonna, like, because I sometimes like using Tetris as a little thing to just, you know, work the brain and whatnot, you know, quick thinking and all that. But anyway, that's besides the point. So but that means I need to completely reorganize how the arms look in terms of how they're moving in the animation. Because at the moment they're like wildly swinging out, and then as I've already pointed out, there's like, oh, like it looks like it's about to stop. I don't know if it's like this is rotating or... like, it's partly this, but also partly, like, the second spine. It's also partly the second spine bone. Also, I was doing that during the ad break. Sorry about that, chat. But yeah, TLDR, there are some things I need to adjust, like, in terms of how the character's spine is moving during some of those frames, which makes it look weird, and also completely, restructuring, or I say restructuring, but completely readjusting how the arms are going to look as it's moving. So I'm going to do that for next Sunday's Game Dev Sunday. Because I'm going to call it there for today, because I am needing to rest before I go to sleep. So yes, to people who showed up, And to everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this, thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Next stream will, of course, be tomorrow. We'll be locking in to get Mega Man X4 done. We'll be finishing Zero's story, hopefully, and we'll be getting on with X's, just because, you know, I may as well, you know, do X's side as well, even though it's the same fights. But, you know, things will be different because, you know, you're playing as X, you're playing as a character from range, and you actually get, you know, the entire suite of Maverick weapons and whatnot, rather than you get some techniques that are effective with Zero, and then other times you just get upgrades to his movement. But, yeah, that's what's happening tomorrow. Thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you all again in the very next one. So until then, take care of yourselves. Have a good day or good night, depending on where you